are again. So great episode just now. So before we were talking about Amazon incentives. Cydney, you were hosting that one, and I was side seating you. We just got done talking with Ben Kehoe, one of our Amazon heroes. We have very much shared goals in life, and now here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about something very near and dear to Cydney and I's hearts, and that is the customer incident response team and some of our tooling and some of the stuff that we're providing customers this year. Cydney?
Yeah, super excited to be here. So, as Robert mentioned, we are members of the Customer Incident Response Team. Our mission in life is to put ourselves out of a job. No security risks. Nothing's happening, right? And what we're really passionate about is developing tools, especially free tools for customers, you, to use to help secure your accounts, to assess your security posture, and to really just ask hard questions on what controls do we have in place? Do we have logging enabled? If you don't, we have a really awesome tool for that. Have we tested and tried security, like simulating security events before? And if you haven't, we have a tool for that. We may talk about that a little bit. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah. So what we do is, we support customers when they have security incidents on this customer side of the shared responsibility model. So what that means is, as all AWS account owners should know, configuring services to operate securely is on their side of the responsibility model. And so, sometimes it doesn't go well, and sometimes there are security incidents, and sometimes they need help, and then that's when they call us and we help. But what we've been able to do is we've been able to synthesize a lot of that information that we've gained, all of those lessons that we've learned, and turn those into customer tools. Like, Cydney, talk real briefly about how we got to the ALE tool.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the case of a security event, one of our first questions, one of the first things that CIRT asks is, do you have logging enabled? And maybe that's specific to the service we're talking about. S3, access logging, CloudTrail logging is a big one. And in the cases that the answer was no, we needed a way to provide to the customer to quickly turn on their logs. And so CIRT developed a command line tool. It's called the Assisted Log Enabler. And what it does is it enables 5 different kinds of logs. I could actually share my screen here in a second and talk about it if you'd like, Robert.
But sure.
If you don't mind, Robert, talk a little bit more about the tool while I get my screen loaded up.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk about ALE. We're going to talk about one of my favorites, and that is our playbooks that we've come up with. So what we've done, we made a really intentional decision last year to start building more tools and products for customers, to give directly to customers on via open source. So you're going to see ALE here in just a little bit. Another one of my favorites that we're going to bring up as soon as we finish up with ALE is our free playbooks, right? So what we've done, again, we take all these lessons learned from these customer incidents. We figure out, kind of what went wrong and how it went wrong, and we packed it into all of these playbooks. And I think that the playbooks are powerful for 2 real reasons. Reason number 1 is we've learned that customers, when they have security incidents, don't have incident response playbooks. They're really intimidating, and it can be hard to start them. So this kind of gives them a kickstart. This enables them to kind of get ahead of it. And then additionally, with handling these incidents, we figured out most common ones that happen, and those are the playbooks that we have developed. But I don't want to get too far in front of that. I want to get back to ALE because Cydney, do you have it up on your screen?
I sure do. Let's go ahead and load the screen share. Awesome. So this is Assisted Log Enabler for AWS. I'm just going to talk through the logs that it does, the way that it runs. So it's on GitHub. It's free, open source. You can go to Google Assisted Log Enabler for AWS and clone this tool right now and use it in your environment to enable your logs. So let's scroll down a little bit. So what does this do? This turns on logging automatically for single account or multi-account, your choice. VPC flow logs, CloudTrail logs, Elastic Kubernetes service, audit and authenticator logs, Route 53 resolver query logs, S3 server access logs, and a new feature is elastic load balancing access logs. And so this tool uses AWS organizations for multi-account setups, or you can run it against a single account. And so, big picture, you clone this tool, you download it. We recommend running it in Cloud Shell, and we can show a little bit of examples on what it looks like.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I just want to tell everyone and give them context for this. You know, when we're dealing with an incident, and when customers are dealing with an incident, this is the second place you're going to go, right? So you always want to focus on containment, and your investigation is going to probably start and end with these logs. And one of the things that we found is that customers have a hard time turning them on, right? Much less analyzing them, which we're going to get to here in just a little bit also, because we built a tool for that. So yes, the logs, the access to logs, and being able to turn through logs is critical for any security incident.
Yeah, and just a little bit more about the tool. So we're in Cloud Shell. This is an example of running it in Cloud Shell. You run this command and you'll see a graphic, and you can choose what you want to do. You can choose a mode, whether you want that to be single account or multi-account, and you can choose what logs you'd like to enable. If you'd like to enable them all, or just a subset. And there are dry run options as well. I don't want to go too deep into the weeds of this. I think we've gotten the point across.
Yeah.
But Robert, maybe we
well,
can talk.
Hold on. So we've got to give credit where credit is due. Scroll up a little bit. Our good friend and extended family member. I want to call out Josh McKitty. He's the one that actually developed this. No longer part of the immediate family now. Part of our extended larger family, but just many thanks to Josh for building this so many years ago. All right. So there's ALE. That's what it does. That's how it does it. Go use it. Reach out on there's a link there for any questions or problems. Can you pull up playbooks? I think those are really great. We've gotten so much good feedback from customers about the playbooks and about how we heard from one customer about how they it seemed like it was built for them, and they were so happy with it. Do you have those? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go through those.
Yeah, so let's talk about them. So this credit where credit's due. A couple contributors to these playbooks, but Robert, correct me if I'm mistaken, our very own Jason Hurst did a lot of the work behind it. Is that correct?
Chief Cat owned this, drove it, brought it all together. So yes, Jason Hurst is a hero, one of my heroes for this project. Yeah.
So there's so many cool things to talk about in this repository, but one of my personal favorites is the accessibility behind it. It is in multiple languages, so you don't have to be fluent in English to make use of this. And so what is this repository? It's an example framework for customers when talking about security on AWS. And we can let's go through one. So you can look up AWS Customer Playbook Framework and find this on GitHub, very much like Assisted Log Enabler. This is a free tool. CIRT developed this because we saw a need, and we wanted to help you customers practice responding to events, practice thinking about what could happen, and assessing your organization. So if we go under Docs, Robert, what are you feeling? What do you think we should do? You're on mute.
Of course I am. You got me unawares. I was actually looking at something else about the next tool we're going to talk about. Ransomware response on S3. And I like that one because that's the one I think that intimidates customers the most.
Got it. All right, let's do it. Ransom response for S3. So it follows a general syntax here. We have a summary paragraph, points of, objectives, and then, let me see, how do I break this down? So let's just talk through it. So we go through the steps of determining what vulnerabilities were exploited, what was the actor's intent, recovery. We have a security perspective here on like, well, how are we going to look at this problem? and response steps. So this goes to the NIST 800 TAC 61R2 incident response lifecycle, which is what Robert will tell you. We live and die by this. Robert, go for it. I know you want to say something here.
Well, yeah, just because I think so. The mechanism is everything. The process is everything. One of the things that we hear and see from customers a lot is they get intimidated and it builds up and they don't know where to start. And if you just stick to the process, right? Stick to the process, it's going to be okay. And really, I'll just use this as kind of a plug for CIRT. If customers are having a security incident and you need help, you need help fighting through it. We're here to help. Submit a cloud support ticket. It'll get routed down to us, and we'll help you through detection, analysis, containment, and any lessons learned that we can derive for the customer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so back to the playbook. Thank you, Robert, for that. That's a passionate topic that we talk about here. So just a summary here, preparation. And so this is written for a broad audience, right? You could be running one account, you could have 20 accounts, you could have more than that. So we really there's recommendations here. Enforce MFA, enforce password complexity requirements to prepare and for this to not happen, right? But if you're here and you're not practicing, there's a chance that it has happened. So let's keep going. So for detection and analysis, like how do we know? What are our indicators here? S3 objects are deleted or S3 buckets are deleted. At a high level recovery. So maybe you're here because you had a bad day. It's recommended. Here's our recommendations as the frontline responders, right? So let's take a step back and just talk about the playbooks as a whole. We have all the playbooks here. We go in depth, right, of what different scenarios, and it's such a wealth of knowledge, and I highly recommend checking this out. It's a free resource to you to improve your security posture. Robert, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out how much time we've got left here. We could do this for probably another hour to talk about Athena. Wait for Tabitha to come back to let us know. Oh, okay, we've got till 20. We've got 6 minutes left. Give me 3 minutes on Athena.
Yeah, so our Athena Security Analytics Bootstrap tool. I would love to. Let me get that pulled up here.
Yeah, so you get it pulled up. I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro here. So one of the cool things about these tools is we took all these lessons learned about dealing with security incidents. We built the playbooks. We built a tool to how to turn logs on, and then we've got this tool that's going to help you quickly and easily ingest these logs and do analysis. So you get the playbooks, download those, build them to your org, use ALE, turn on all your logs, use Athena to ingest your logs, and there is the foundational elements of incident response capability for a company. Take it away, Cydney.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to give a high level of this tool. So this tool, the AWS Security Analytics Bootstrap, is for customers that don't have a logging solution already. They don't have a centralized place to query logs and investigate a security event or just look at audit logs in general. And so what this is it's a CloudFormation template that you set up in your environment and asks for parameters to quickly just filter your logs into one place. Let's see here. I do wish I had a demo prepared on this one.
Let's just make sure we get it posted.
You're on mute.
Of course I am. Again, let's just make sure that we get the links posted somewhere. I think we've got some other demos we could share later.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, I could talk about this for forever. Yeah. But really, you deploy this in your account, and you've gone from having no centralized place to query your logs, nowhere that you can type, hey, give me this kind of API call within this time frame, and get an answer. In less than 10 minutes, you do now. You can clone this. It's another free repository, free repo on GitHub that CIRT has worked on. It was Ryan Smith, right, that did a lot of work behind this tool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would highly recommend if just to try this out. CIRT is here doing a workshop at reInvent, and we're going to be using this actually to investigate a simulated security event. So there's possibilities of this.
When is that? When is the workshop here?
Yeah, so we have one tomorrow from 3:30 to 4:30, and it is something that you have to sign up for in advance. I mean, we have one at Thursday as well.
Okay. I'm super excited about these. So we have so much we could talk about right now. I want to talk about Twitch. I want to talk about our Twitch channel that we have. I want to talk about our blog. I want to talk about what Steve DeVera launched this morning. What do you have? Steve's got an S3 ransom part of his toolkit he dropped this morning, right?
He does. He has a workshop for S3, like it's a ransom simulation.
Yeah.
Let me get that link.
Yeah. So the reason why I think that one's important and powerful is because we hear from a lot of customers dealing with security incidents, as you know, that as you know, Cydney, that these ransom attacks, they're really scary. Customers, they just don't know where to start. You open up your console, you open up a directory, and there's a ransom note there. What do you do? Where do you go? Again, using all of the stuff that we learned, on these incidents. Steve, this was really Steve DeVera's his idea. He drove this all the way through to use Workshop Studio. So hats off to him for doing it. But this product is really intended to help customers, understand what to do and how to do it. You got it up there?
Not at the moment. I am working on it, but we can drop that in the chat here soon.
Yeah. Okay. So drop that link.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Sure do. We will share that in the chat.
Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So let's talk about real quick. We got 1 more minute left. What do you think? You got any things near and dear to your heart you want to talk about today?
I think we should real quick talk about the safe room. So every 2 Fridays, every other Friday, second and fourth Friday of the month, the customer incident response team owns a Twitch channel or a Twitch stream called The Safe Room, where we talk about emerging security events. So if there's something that CIRT is seeing in the wild, we bring it right to you. We talk about what's happening, how can you mitigate this. So with that, thanks so much for having us. Thanks for your time and attention. And we'll go ahead and pass it to the next show. But check out our tools, and we'll paste that link in the chat shortly for the